Good morning, Columbia. Today is Thursday, March 3rd. There's one less GOP presidential candidate taking the stage at tonight's debate. What we can expect after our presidential hopeful halts his campaign. Plus, lawmakers are getting around a roadblock in the State House, the latest on the state's roads bill. And a glimmer of hope for flood victims. It's millions of dollars heading to the Palmetto State for flood recovery. Good Morning Columbia starts right now.
From ABC Columbia News, live from Main and Gervais, this is Good Morning Columbia.
Good morning, Columbia. Thank you so much for waking up with us on this Thursday morning. I'm Christy Vaughn.
And I'm Rochelle Dean. We are live from Main and Gervais. Your time right now is 6 a.m.
6 a.m. So let's get this morning started. First up, we're going to talk about your weather, and it is a lot cooler out there this morning than probably most of us would like.
Yeah, we dealt with the wind a few days ago, and the cooler temperatures, they remain. It seems like they are not going anywhere anytime soon. For more on what you can expect as you head out the door this morning, let's turn things over to meteorologist Jonathan Kennedy. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, it was very windy yesterday, and that was kind of changing things over from the very warm, humid air we saw earlier in the week, and then we saw the rain come in, and then much cooler air yesterday, and we're seeing the extra cool air this morning as you wake up and head out. Temperatures in the low 40s for us downtown. We've been pretty steady, right at 42. Mostly clear skies. Winds out of the east and northeast at 9 miles per hour. So we're seeing a change in the wind direction, and that'll eventually continue to change, I think, throughout the day today. Eventually winds, I think, generally more of the easterly component, and then eventually as that front comes through back out of the north and west. Satellite and radar, pretty quiet for us at the time being. A few clouds to our north, but nothing to worry about in the way of rainfall. No fog to worry about either, so that's a good news as you're heading out early this morning. But it is going to be a little chillier for you. Lexington just dropping in the 30s. They're at 39. Still, again, holding strong at 42 downtown. A lot of 36s, a lot of mid-30s there. Manning, Bishopville, Camden, Winsboro, Newberry, Wagner down at 34. And with the wind chills, you're going to expect most areas to be at or near freezing for some of those locations. So it's going to be cold as you head out this morning. Just be prepared for that. It's going to be a little different than it has been the last couple of days where we saw a much milder start. So cooler start this morning. We'll see a similar result this afternoon, though, as what you saw yesterday, but probably not as much sunshine. Right now, winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour. I think we'll stay in the ballpark of that. Not quite as gusty as it was for your Wednesday. Satellite and radar, as I mentioned earlier, we zoom out a little bit and you can start to see some of the stuff that's coming our way. We got some snow for the Smoky Mountains in North Carolina and Tennessee. That's not going to bother us at all. We're just seeing a little bit of cloud cover early this morning. But notice this big dry slot of air down towards Atlanta and into Alabama. That's going to be just ahead of that cold front that's stirring up some rain in parts of western Tennessee and into Mississippi this morning. But we'll likely see that come our way later on this evening. So it's still got a ways to go. Still has to cross the mountains, still has to come through Alabama, still has to come through Georgia and most of Tennessee. So we'll be watching this system intently throughout the day today. But I do think the timing of this is going to be later on this afternoon into tonight, mainly tonight for us. Now, the leading edge of that, so the start of the rain will probably be somewhere around dinner time or so. And we're still seeing this well back here this morning, and this will eventually slide from west to east through the area today. And I think it'll be gone by the time you wake up tomorrow. So mainly a kind of evening time, nighttime rainstorm. No thunderstorms really expected for the most part here, but we couldn't rule out a thunderclap or two. But I think we'll see highs right around 60. So not the most warmth and fuel for those storms to get going. So I think for the most part, we'll look for just some plain old rain, and that'll move through with very minimal impact, I think, for most of us here at home.
Well, that's good news. Yeah, at least it's going to be minor.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like a complete
Let's just hopefully it hits after the evening commute. That'll help things a lot.
Yeah,
that
definitely.
will.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you. Well, right now we do want to give you a quick traffic update as you get ready to hit the roads this morning.
That's right, and still good news here at the top of the hour. No incidents to report in or around the capital city, but we're keeping our eye on the road, and if that happens to change, we'll make sure we update you as you get ready to head out for that morning commute. And ABC Columbia also wants to help you jumpstart your Thursday morning.
We've got a rundown of your top morning headlines. We're going to get started with new information in Vote 2016. There will be one less Republican presidential hopeful taking the stage in tonight's GOP debate. Ben Carson has released a statement saying he will not be attending tonight's debate in Detroit and that he doesn't, quote, see a political path forward in light of Super Tuesday's primary results. Carson did not explicitly say he's ending his campaign, but sources close to Carson say he will no longer be asking for votes. Carson says he will go into more details at a later time. Well, the remaining 4 presidential candidates, Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, and John Kasich, will be going head-to-head in that debate tonight in Michigan. It takes place at 9 and will be hosted by Fox News. Now, Fox News' Brett Baer, Chris Wallace, and Megyn Kelly will all moderate tonight's debate. You may recall that ongoing feud between Donald Trump and Megyn Kelly and Fox News, which led him to boycott the Fox News debate earlier, leading up to that Iowa caucus.
That's right. Kelly says she does not expect a renewal of any of those hostilities with the GOP frontrunner. Kelly's question angered Trump during the first Republican debate, which took place back in August, particularly when asked about his comments on women. Trump later skipped the January's Iowa debate because he says the network mocked him. According to Trump and his spokesperson, he is looking forward to tonight's debate. Well, Governor Nikki Haley speaking out about her own feud with Donald Trump. The Republican frontrunner tweeted that the people of South Carolina are embarrassed by Nikki Haley. The governor simply responded, quote, "Bless your heart." Speaking on the Twitter tiff, the governor says those 3 words were all that needed to be said. The governor and Trump have all fought the primary season, but that's not the only reason Governor Haley has taken a front row seat on the national stage.
There's a younger generation of Republican leaders coming along that I think that Governor Haley could very well be a part of.
And among those Republican leaders, Senator Tim Scott and Senator Marco Rubio. Haley endorsed Rubio before the South Carolina primary. The governor says she intends to support Rubio until the very end.
You're watching Good Morning Columbia, live from Main and Gervais.
Well, good morning, Columbia. Thank you so much for waking up with us on this Thursday morning. I'm Christy Vaughn.
And I'm Rochelle Dean. We're live from Main and Gervais. We're at the last half hour of the show. It's 6:32.
6:32. Well, if you're getting ready to get the kids off to school or get ready for work, you're going to need a jacket this morning. It's still chilly out.
Yeah, the winds calmed down a little bit, but the chill's still in the air.
That's
Let's
right.
turn things over to meteorologist Jonathan Kennedy for a look at the rest of your day. Hey, Jonathan.
Good morning. Yeah, we're looking at a cooler start for us today. Mostly clear skies right now, but that may not last too much longer. Let's take a look at what's happening outside as you're getting ready to head out, or maybe already starting to head out. 41 degrees, partly cloudy skies downtown. Winds out of the northeast at 3 miles per hour, so a little puff, but not much wind outside this morning, and I can see that pick up a little bit this afternoon as we get that cold front a little closer to town. Now we'll stick with the mid to upper 30s to lower 40s, mostly clear skies across the area this morning. And you see the cloud cover starting to wane a little bit. We did see some clouds over the northern half of the viewing area, but that is kind of retreating to the north just a little bit, and that is causing a lot of areas to cool down. We're down to 34 in Camden, Bishopville at 34, 41 downtown, so that's good news for us, but everybody else besides Orangeburg in the kind of a mid to upper 30s. So certainly a chilly start with the winds blowing. It's going to feel even colder than that. We're seeing wind chills between about 32 and 36. So even the areas that are a little bit warmer, including us downtown, it is going to be a little chilly as you're out and about today. You can see just how cold it is in a few areas. We got some snow going for parts of the Appalachian Mountains, the Smoky Mountains there. As you go up from Asheville up towards Boone, those areas crossing over into Virginia around the Bristol area. Back to the west, rain. That's what we're looking at for come our way later today. Now, here's your low right now, generally over Missouri, and that's going to continue to push to the north and east. That's going to drag this cold front across the area later on this evening. Now, we are seeing this jut ahead of it a little bit there between that cold front and the warm front. So a nice little system of thunderstorms going through Memphis and those areas through northern Mississippi, getting ready to head into Alabama here shortly. But I do think it's going to be later in the day for us when that rain comes our way. We'll continue to watch this and try to make sure that these models are handling it properly, but I think this is going to come our way with a pretty good time frame. We're around 6 o'clock or so later on tonight. We'll carry that through midnight tonight, but after that, should be a much drier forecast to wrap up the week on Friday. So we do have some rain coming our way, but for the first half of your day, for the most part, as you're heading out, just plan on it being around 60 this afternoon. Partly cloudy skies, eventually seeing more cloud cover throughout the day, and that rain comes our way most likely around the evening commute, plus or minus maybe an hour or two. We'll have to keep an eye on that as we go throughout the day, because it could speed up or it could slow down a little bit, especially as it hits the mountains. So we'll keep you up to date on that, but just plan on having the umbrella if you are going to be heading out to dinner tonight.
That's right. It'll be nice for the timing to be after that after that commute.
Don't want that to be the heading home problem child of the road.
Yeah, exactly.
So hopefully that will move on quickly.
Right.
We'll
Thank you, Jonathan. Well, right now we do want to give you a quick traffic update as you hit the roads this morning.
Yeah, and everything was calm this morning until the last half hour. We do have one situation that we'd like to pass along to you if you're getting ready to head out for that morning commute. South Carolina Highway Patrol reporting a collision with no injury on I-26.
Yeah, this is going to be at mile marker 110 in the eastbound lane. Of course, we'll continue to keep our eyes on the road and update you if anything else pops up during that morning commute.
And ABC Columbia also wants to help you jumpstart this Thursday morning.
We've got a rundown of your top morning headlines. We're going to get started with Vote 2016. A big change here this morning. There will be one less Republican presidential hopeful taking the stage in tonight's GOP debate. Ben Carson has released a statement saying he will not be attending tonight's debate in Detroit and that he doesn't, quote, see a political path forward in light of Super Tuesday's primary results. Carson did not explicitly say he's ending his campaign, but sources close to him say he will no longer be asking for votes. Carson says he will go into more details at a later time. Well, the remaining four presidential candidates, Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, and John Kasich, will be heading into tonight's debate in Michigan. It takes place at 9, and that will be hosted by Fox News. And of course, after Super Tuesday's vote, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are widening their lead over the competition, and the results may have some unhappy Americans weighing their options for their future.
Yeah, we've heard a lot of people talking about this here lately. Voters may be changing their thoughts of "oh no" to "oh Canada." Google searches for how to move to Canada spiked on Super Tuesday. It's unclear if the results were triggered by Trump or Clinton winning 7 states on Super Tuesday, but Google data editors say the searches spiked more than 350%. And on top of that, Canada's website is warning users checking to see if they are eligible to move up north that they may experience delays while using the website. It is unclear if the delay is related to the sudden interest in immigration. Well, there is a new glimmer of hope for flood victims as hundreds of millions of dollars make its way right here to the Palmetto State for flood recovery. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development has allocated nearly $157 million to be divided between the state, Richland, and Lexington, as well as Columbia. However, the flood victims are skeptical about whether the funding will actually aid their neighborhoods.
My thoughts are we won't see it. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. I think it'll go into the government to be used elsewhere. On a personal level, I don't think anyone in here will see it.
Well, it's still unclear how the funding will be used, but local and state officials are confident the funds will make things a little easier on those impacted by flooding. Well, it's more calls for a solicitor and county councilman to resign. Governor Nikki Haley says Lexington prosecutor Donnie Myers and Richland County Councilman Kelvin Washington should both resign following their drunken driving arrests. Myers was arrested last week after troopers say they found his empty car crashed into a utility pole near his home. This is Myers' third alcohol-related charge since 2005. The governor can remove people from office in limited circumstances. Haley says she's exploring her options if they don't step down voluntarily. Well, ABC Columbia News has also obtained some dash cam video from the night Richland County Councilman Kelvin Washington was involved in a collision. In the video, you can see the aftermath of that accident right there, that crushed metal. The Department of Public Safety also provided video of Washington's transfer to the detention center. Washington is charged with felony driving under the influence after that Saturday night collision at the intersection of Martin Luther King Boulevard and Bluff Road. Investigators say 2 people were injured in that incident.
Well, we've got more to come here on Good Morning Columbia. We are waiting for the return of warmer temperatures.
Oh, aren't we? But it looks like our nation's capital, spring may already be in full bloom.
Yeah, partly cloudy and certainly a cool start. Wind chills right now in the lower 30s, even a couple spots in the 20s as you head out on this Thursday. But we'll see some warmer temperatures this afternoon. All the details of what to expect next, live from Main and Gervais.
Live from Main and Gervais, this is Good Morning Columbia with Christy Vaughn, Rochelle Dean, and weather with meteorologist Jonathan Kennedy. Good Morning Columbia.